Good morning, everybody. It's already getting hot this morning, and it's not even 8 o'clock. But this morning, I need to cut down my nettles. And for my patrons, I sent them a link to video my Portucary update, which my patrons get, my bloomers. And I talked about my nettles plant, that I have a male nettles, Urtica dioica. Nettles is one of the few plants that's dioecious, meaning there's a separate male and female plant. And one of the more famous dioecious plants is cannabis. So I'm gonna awkwardly take the camera forward and do some close-ups. This is a male plant where the seeds form more towards the top of the stalk of the plant, and this is basically the plant semen, and the pollen gets released into the air. It's getting really tall. It's chest high now, and I let it go actually one day too long, and the seeds are starting to release down. So I've put down this tarp here to try and collect as many of the seeds as possible so they don't start making new little plant babies everywhere. This nettles plant is actually in a giant plastic pot that I dug and sunk into the ground, and so far it's behaving really well, but it is sort of a Russian roulette every season. To let the plant go to seed, I collect the seeds for my nettle seed gomazio that I make, which is delicious, and but it's risky because you have to catch it before it really starts letting all its seeds down. So I'm going to grab the camera and we'll take a look at the flower heads here. They're very beautiful, and I'll post some still pictures from about a week ago. I'll post those on social media so people can have a closer look at what they look like when they were more in their flower stage rather than the seed stage right here. So grab the camera. So this one here is actually this one is more of a newer flowering head. And this one down here, these are older. You can see the seeds are more defined and they're starting to fall down into the other planter area. They're crowding out the Asclepias and the verbena. Look at the verbena, is looking really good. So these other plants are getting really tall as a result of this plant just going crazy. So this is the Lamiaceae family, one of the largest families. Mint, skullcap, lavender, wood betony, Stachys officinalis, lemon balm, hyssop. So many plants in this family, and there's a plane going overhead. One of the main characteristics is the square stems and opposite leaves. So like I said, this is a male plant where the flower heads and seeds are developing more towards the top of the plant. The female plant also flowers, but the seeds and the flowers will develop more up and down along the stems. So I'm going to put the camera back down, and I'm going to cut one of these. Get it back into the right location here. I think that's the spot. And now to locate my snippers. And I'm going to cut one of these and demonstrate a treatment, classic treatment called urtication. We take the nettles, leaves, and stem also, but I like the leaves, have the stinging spines on them, the hairs, but they're actually hollow tubes, spikes, almost like glass, that have a lot of chemicals in them. One of them is formic acid, which is the same compound that ants use to when they bite you, and it hurts and stings, but it's really not like a mosquito bite or a spider bite. So it's mostly just irritating. And other compounds, interestingly, like histamine and really interesting serotonin, are other compounds found in the stinging liquid inside those little tiny hairs on the plant. And this is a bigger plant, so they're pretty good size hairs on them. But you can flog with the plant on joints and other areas with inflammation and pain. So it basically blocks the inflammatory cytokines in the body and helps with pain, helps reduce medication for people with like rheumatoid arthritis, osteoporosis. I just have general knee and joint problems, old injuries and things like that, and I just like the idea of bringing blood flow to the area. I urticate my legs. I always felt like I've had a lot of stagnation in my legs, so I do it a couple times a year when I trim, or in the summer when I trim the fresh plant. So I'm gonna demonstrate. I'm gonna clip one of the stems and gently place it on the tarp here. I'm gonna collect slowly one by one. I'm gonna trim all of this down, but I'll take some of these leaves and I'll urticate my legs. And try not to squish my skull cap is underneath here. So I'm gonna take this one because it's right up front. Maybe I'll take one of these. And I do get stung on my arms when I do this, but that's okay. So these leaves are pretty big and not great for eating, so I don't really focus on these leaves, for especially these lower ones, but I'll get really close and maybe with the sunlight you can see the stinging part on the back of the leaf here. So I'm going to take a couple of them in my hands. I'll grab one more, 2 in each hand. And I've had some injuries in my foot, so I like to rub it on my foot, and like I said, my knees. Rub it on my knees. It's really not that bad, and it's kind of a rush. It does last for a while, and it will make a red rash, but I can feel it getting going. I'm going to do my other knee here. Woo! There it goes. And move it around so that you're getting all the, whew. So this will bring a lot of blood flow to the area and help with the inflammation in my knees. Ooh, it's stinging. Ooh. And then I'm gonna go a little bit more up my thighs. Ooh. Oh, that is really tough medicine. Ooh. Ooh. Yikes. It hurts. I'm making a video. Yep. It's on my YouTube channel, Malia Thompson. That was Nancy. So anyway, that is it. I'm going to finish trimming my plant and collect the seeds. You can try my nettle seed, Gomazio. It's on my website or on Etsy. Uh-oh, I accidentally cut down a vervain. Shucks. That sucks. Careful. Ah. Anyway, on that note, thanks for watching, and give the urtication a try. Don't be afraid. It's a lot of fun.